My dear children, how are you? I hope you are fine. Today we are going to see a new chapter. It is a very important chapter and easy chapter. Chapter number 7. Name of the chapter is Simple Linear Equations. Okay. Before that, we are going to familiarize the terms, equations and linear equation. What is linear equations? An equation is a mathematical sentence that has two equal sides separated by an equal side. An equation is a mathematical sentence. Mathematical sentence means it has numbers, variables and operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division like that. It is said to be mathematical sentence that has two equal sides. What is it by two sides? Two equal sides. Two sides of the mathematical sentence means one is left hand side and another one is right hand side. That is LHS. It means left hand side and another side is right hand side. That is right hand side. Shortly we are denoting it as capital R dot H dot S. That is R dot H dot S. It means right hand side. You have to read it as RHS. Similarly, L dot H dot S. That is left hand side. You have to read it as LHS. Okay. Definitely you have to write only the capital letters. Okay. And equation is a mathematical sentence that has two equal sides. What are the sides? LHS and RHS separated by an equal sign. What is meant by equal sign? Like this. This is called equal symbol. How can you read this? Is equal to. How do you read this? Is equal to. Many of the students read it as is equal to. Okay, don't read like this. You have to read it as is equal to. Okay. A mathematical sentence that has two equal sides and it is separated by an equal sign. We call it as an equation. Okay, simply we can say if any algebraic expression contains the symbol equal means we can call it as an equation. Okay, see here one example. 8 plus 2 equal to 10. We call this expression as an equation. Why? Because it has two sides. What are they? LHS and RHS. Among these, which is called the LHS means you first place your left hand here and place your right hand here. Along with your left hand, you have 8 and 2. So you have to call this 8 plus 2 as LHS of the equation. And along with your right hand, we have 10. So we call the 10 as right hand side. That is, this equation have LHS and RHS. And LHS and RHS are separated by a equal symbol. So we call it as an equation. Okay, 8 plus 2 equal to 10. Also, we can give some other example. 5 into 3 equal to 15. Here, which is your LHS? 5 into 3, which is your RHS, 15 is your RHS. So you must have the clear idea about LHS and RHS. And the LHS and the RHS always should be separated by the equal sign. Okay. We can also give some other example like this. 2x equal to 10. This is also an example for equation. Okay. Next we are going to memorize the term about linear equation. What is the linear equation? I have already told. Linear means you have to remember the number 1. Linear equation means, let us see the definition. It is an algebraic equation in which the degree of each term involving the variable is 1. That is, you have to take one algebraic equation. You have to take one algebraic equation and you have to check whether the variable involved in that algebraic equation have the degree 1. It means simply I am saying you have to check whether the power of the variable is 1 or not. See the example. 2y minus 7 equal to 15. First of all, it is an equation because it has both LHS and RHS. They are separated by an equal symbol. And which is the variable here? Y. Y is the variable here. What is the power of y? Power of y is 1. So if the power of the variable is 1, we can call it as a degree. We can call the degree of the equation as 1. If the degree is 1 means we can call the equation as a linear equation. Okay, children, see the next example. 12 equal to 5 minus x. It is an equation first. and among the equation which is the variable x. X is the variable. What is the power of x? 1. So we can call this equation as linear equation. See the third example. 5 minus 3 by 4 p equal to 9. Among this, which is the variable p? What is the power of p? 1. So we can call it as a linear equation. We understand children? As I hope you understand what is meant by equation and what is meant by linear equation. Okay. Next, what we are doing with this linear equation? Let us see. We are going to solve this equation. What is meant by solving an equation? Solving a problem means we are finding the solution. What we are going to do with solving the equation? Solving the equation means it is the process to find the value of the variables given in the equation. That is, we are going to find the value of the variable given in the equation. Okay, how can we find the value of the given variable in the equation? Let us see. First, see this example, children. X minus 5 equal to 0. First of all, we have to check whether it is an equation or not, because it is an equation because it has LHS as well as the RHS. What is your RHS value? 0. Okay, so it is an equation first. Here we have to find the value of variable. Which is the variable here? X is the variable here. Okay, now the question is, what should be the value of x such that if you put that value you get the answer 0. What should be the value of x such that if you subtract the 5 from that value you get the answer 0? Yes, very good, 5. So we can write x equal to 5. We understand children? If you substitute 5 here, 5 minus 5 your answer is 0. Thus we have found out the value of x equal to 5. Similarly, see the next example. 2x equal to 14. What is our aim? We have to solve the equation. Solve the equation means finding the value of variables. Which is the variable here? X. Now we are going to find the value of x. Now my question is, what should be multiplied with 2 to get 14? What should be multiplied with 2 to get 14? Yes, 7 plus x equal to 7, because 2 into 7 its answer is 14. While we are writing like this means 2x means we have to understood the operation between 2 and x is multiplication. Okay, let us see some more example. 5y equal to 30. What should be the value of y? It gives the value 30. Yes, 6. Therefore, y equal to 6. So this is the way, thus we are finding the value of the variable. So this process of finding the value of the given variable is called solving an equation. Thus these equations are very easy. We can easily find the values. Suppose if the given equations are slightly complicated means we have a method to solve that equation. What is that method? That method is transposing method. What is that method? Transposing method. What is the method saying is, in an equation, a term from one side can be transposed to the other side with the sign reversed, and the equality will be remain unchanged. I give you a better example to you after explaining this. Listen carefully. We are following the transposing method. What is meant by transpose? Transpose means we are transferring its position. That is, we are changing its position. What we are changing? We are changing the position of a term from one side to another side. I have already told there are two sides. What are the two sides? LHS and RHS. So in the process of finding the solution of the given equation, we bring one term from LHS to RHS or RHS to LHS. In the process of bringing a term from one side to another side, we have to follow one thing. What is that thing? We have to follow the other side. The sign is reversed. We have to reverse that sign. Listen carefully, children. We have to reverse the sign. Then only the equality will be remain unchanged. See here, I give one example. 8 plus 2 equal to 10. Okay. In the LHS we have 8 plus 2. In the RHS we have 10. Now I am bringing this 2 to, that is 2 in the LHS place and 10 in RHS. Now I am going to transpose 2. Transpose 2 from LHS to RHS. By transposing method, if you transfer any term from one side to another side, you have to reverse the sign. Reverse the sign means Plus means you have to change it as minus. Multiply means you have to change it as divide. Okay. Minus means plus, plus means minus. Multiply means divide, divide means multiply. Here we have plus. So if you bring this plus to this side means you have to reverse this side. So how can we reverse it? 8 equal to 10. Now we are going to transpose this 2. So you have to reverse this symbol. So you have to write minus 2. Now we have to check whether the value is changed or not. What is the value of 10 minus 2? 8. See, 8 equal to 8 plus the value remains same. That's why they are saying in transposing method, while you bring the term from one side to another, you must reverse the sign. Then only the equality will remain unchanged. Do you understand, children? Okay, see here. Now we are going to solve the equation. Listen carefully. You have this linear equation up to your higher secondary. Okay, so this is a basic. So listen carefully. First we are solving this equation. Read the equation 3p minus 7 equal to 40. Keep this thing always in your mind, children. To find the value of the variable, that is, which is the variable here, p. Now we are going to find the value of p. To find the value of p, you must make the p alone. Do you understand, children? To find the value of any variable, you must make that variable free. Free means you have to send all the terms along with that variable. Along with that variable, what are the terms? Are the 7, 3. So you have to remove that term. Remove means you have to send the term to another side, which is another side, right hand side, because these terms are in left hand side. So first step is you have to make the variable free. To make the variable free, you have to send the terms along with that variable. So while you are sending this, you have to first send the terms which are in addition and subtraction. After that, you have to send the terms which are in multiplication and division. First step, you have to send the terms which are in addition and subtraction. After that, you have to send the terms which are in multiplication and division. While you are doing the sum, you can easily understand. Okay, don't get clear. First, see the sum 3p minus 7 equal to 20. Our aim is to find the value of p. What should be the value of p? Such that if you substitute the value of p, you get the answer 20. Okay. Now we are going to do this sum. The solution part you have to write the question once again and using this as a solution part. 3p minus 7 equal to 20. As I told, first you have to remove the terms which are in addition and subtraction. Here we have the term 7. This is in the process of subtraction. So you have to transpose the 7 from LHS to RHS. While you transfer the term from LHS to RHS, you have to reverse the sign. So 3p. Now we are going to transpose the 7 from LHS to RHS. So 20. Now the minus 7 going to that side. So its sign should be reversed. So minus became plus. So plus 7. Do you understand, children? Now the minus 7 which is in the LHS, now it comes in the right hand side. While you are writing the minus 7 from LHS to RHS, you have to reverse that symbol. Because here it have minus. While you come it on the right hand side, its sign should be reversed as plus. Suppose here you have the plus means here you have to write it as minus. Okay. Next step you have to add these two values. 20 plus 7. 27, thus 3p equal to 27. Thus our aim is to find the value of the variable. To find the value of the variable, you have to make the variable free. Free means you have to send all the terms along with the variable. Already we have sent one term which is the minus 7. Now along with the variable we have another term. What is it? 3. But the operation between 3 and p is multiplication. Okay. While you are changing the term from LHS to RHS, its sign is reversed. So this multiplication became division. So we can write it as p equal to 27 by 3. Do you understand, children? Here we have subtraction in LHS. While you are bringing minus 7 from LHS to RHS, it became addition. That is, subtraction became addition. Here see, here 3 and p, they are the operation of multiplication. While we are bringing multiplication to the from LHS to RHS, it became division. So we can write p equal to 27 divided by 3. Now you have to divide the 27 by 3. 1 3 is 3, 9 3s are 27. So P equal to 9 by 1. Leave the denominator 1. So your answer is 9. Thus P equal to 9. Do you understand children? Now let us check whether our answer is right or wrong. Further you have to consider this value. 3P minus 7. 3 into. What is the value of P? 9. So 3 into 9 minus 7. 9 is 27 minus 7. So what is our minus answer is 20. Thus here also we have the 20. Thus our answer is correct. Okay, do you understand children? Let us move to the next problem. See the big sum. 5x plus 7 equal to 32. Which is the variable here? X. So we have to find the value of the variable. In order to find the value of the variable, we have to make free that variable. For that we have to send all the terms along with the variable. First step you have to send the term which are in addition and subtraction. After you have to send the term which are in multiplication and division. While you send the term from LHS to RHS or RHS to LHS, you have to reverse that symbol. Okay. See here. First step you have to write the question 5x plus 7 equal to 32. First step you have to bring that plus 7 to the side. Plus 7 already in the LHS side. This is LHS left hand side. This is RHS right hand side. In order to find x, we are bringing the 7 from LHS to RHS. So 5x equal to 32. How we will change the 7? Yes, minus 7. How do you change it? Minus 7, because by transposing method, while you are bringing a term from one side to another, its sign should be reversed. So plus is reversed as minus. Here we reverse the minus as plus and multiplication as division. Similarly, here we are reversing the plus as minus. We understand children? Now you have to subtract the 7 from 32. What is the answer? 25. So 5x equal to 25. But our aim is find the value of x. To find the value of x, you have to make the x free from the terms. So here also we have the 5 along with x. But operation between the x and 5 is multiplication. So you have to bring that 5 from LHS to RHS. So x equal to, how it became? 25 divided by 5. So now you have to cancel 1 times by 5 times are 25. So 5 by 1. So leave the denominator if it is 1. So you have to write it as x equal to 5. So our answer is 5. You can also substitute the 5 in this equation. You get the answer 32. Okay. Next to see the C sum. 2p minus 3 equal to 23. We have to find the value of the variable. What is the variable? 3. Now we are going to find the value of the variable. For the first step, you have to bring this minus 3 from LHS to RHS. No need to write this LHS and the RHS student. For your understanding purpose only, I am writing it. Okay. So 2p equal to 23 minus 3. While you are bringing one term from one side to another side, its sign should be reversed. So you have to reverse its sign. So it became plus 3. Do you understand children? Here, okay. 2p 23 plus 3 26. Now we have to find the value of p. For that, we have to bring this to this side. So it comes by division. So 26 by 2. We understand children? Now you have to cancel it. 1 2 is 2, 1 2 is 2, 3 2 are 6. So 13 by 1. Leave the remainder if it is 1. So your answer is P equal to 13. I hope you have understand this. Okay. Let us see some more example children. See this sum. 3x minus 5 equal to 28. We have to find the value of the variable x. For that, we have to free the value x. So 3x, we have to transpose this minus 5 to this side. So 3x equal to 28 minus 5. While you are bringing minus 5 from LHS to RHS, its sign should be reversed. So it became plus 5. Do you understand children? Plus 5. So 3x equal to 28 plus 5. What is your answer? 33. So 33. We have to find the value of x. So x equal to, what is the operation between 3x? Yes, multiplication. 3x means 3 into x. So in the process of transposing method, if you bring your one term from one side to another side, its sign should be reversed. So its multiplication is reversed as division. Division is reversed as multiplication. Subtraction is reversed as addition. Addition is reversed as subtraction. So multiplication is reversed as division. So 33 by 3. Here you have to divide the 33 by 3. So 1 3 is 3, 1 3 is 3, 1 3 is 3. So 11 by 1. If a number containing the denominator as 1 means leave that denominator. Write only the numerator. So x equal to 11. Thus we have found out the value of the variable x equal to 11. See the next sum. 3y equal to 30. Here which is your variable y. We have to find the value of that variable. So for that we have to make free that variable. Here we have no other term along with that. We have only one term along with that variable, which is that 3. So we have to make y free. We have to bring the 3 to the right hand side from LHS. So it is the operation of multiplication with y. So in order to begin multiplication, here begin division. So y equal to, in order to find the value of y, we are bringing the 3 from LHS to RHS. So y equal to 30 by 3. Here the multiplication is reversed as division. We understand that, therefore y equal to 1 3 is 3, 1 3 is 3 and the 0 10. Thus 10 by 1. So you have to write it as 10 now. Thus value of y is 10. That is, what should be multiplied with y to get 30? Yes, 10. 10 is 30. It is very easy one. See the next one. 4 into m plus 3 equal to 20. We can do this sum in two methods. First I am doing the first method. I take the question in the solution part. 4 into m plus 3 equal to 20. First I am bringing this 4 to the RHS side because along with m plus 3, the 4 is in the process of multiplication. So while you are bringing a term from LHS to RHS, its sign is reversed. So multiplication is reversed here as division. So 4 into m plus 3 equal to 20. Thus write the m plus 3 alone, which is equal to 20 divided by 4. We understand, children? Next you have to divide the 20 by 4. So 1 4 is 4. 5 4s are 20. Thus m plus 3 equal to 5 by 1. It can be written as 5. Thus m plus 3 equal to 5. In order to find the value of m, we have to bring this 3 to RHS, that is right hand side. So its sign should be reversed. So 5 plus 3 became minus 3. So 5 minus 3. M equal to 2. Thus we have found the value of that unknown variable. Now I am going to do the second method. What is the second method? Is 4 into m plus 3 equal to 20. This is the first method. This is the second method. Now we have to multiply the 4 with these two terms. So 4 into m, 4m. 4 into 3, 12 equal to 20. Okay. Next you have to bring this 12 to RHS. 4m equal to, because as I already told, you have to first bring the terms which are in addition and subtraction. Next you have to bring the terms which are in multiplication and division. This is second. First you have to bring the terms which are in addition and subtraction. Here 12 is in the process of addition. So you have to bring the term first in the right hand side. So 20 minus 12. So 20 minus 12, what is your answer? 8. So 4m equal to 8. We have to find the value of m. So bring the 4 now to RHS. So m equal to 8 by 4. 1 4 is 4, 2 4s are 8. So 2 by 1. So 2 by 1 can be written as 2. Thus m equal to 2. Thus in both method we have found the same answer only. You may follow any method. Both methods are correct. Okay. See the next one. 8x minus 5 equal to 3x plus 55. In this sum, in both LHS and RHS, we have the variable. So, in order to find the value of variable, now we are grouping the variable in one side. Usually, you have to collect the variable in the left hand side. You have to collect the number, that is numerical values in the right hand side. You understand, children? You have to collect the variables like x, y, a, b, c, d. Like that, you have to collect the variables in the left hand side. Collect the numbers on the right hand side. Now we are going to do that only. See here, here we have 8x, here we have 3x. Now we are bringing this 3x to this side. This is RHS and this is LHS. Now we are going to collect the variables along LHS and numbers along RHS. Okay. First step, I am going to bring this 3x to this side. How I am bringing? Listen carefully. 8x. Listen children, if a number 3x like this means you understand, that is understood what is the symbol of 3 is plus. Okay, according to the transposing method, while you are bringing a term from one side to another side, its sign should be reversed. So plus 3x here, if it comes here it becomes minus 3x. So 8x minus 3x. Write the next term minus 5 equal to 55. You understand children? See here children. 8x. Now I am bringing 3x from RHS to LHS only. Okay. 8x minus 3x. Writing minus 5 as it is, which is equal to 55. It's clear. Next, we are going to send this minus 5 to that side after evaluating this. 8x minus 3x. We already know they are like terms, so we can subtract or add the like terms by adding or subtracting their coefficients. So 8x minus 3x. So here we have 8 apples, here we have 3 apples. So 8 apples minus 3 apples. What is the answer? 5 apples. So instead of apples we have to write x, thus 5x. Okay. Next 5x minus 5 equal to 55. I hope you all understand up to this step. Okay. Understand children? Okay. Next we are going to send this minus 5 to this side. Why we are doing like this? Because to find the value of x, we are doing like this. To find the value of the variable, we have to make the variable free from all the terms. For that, we are collecting the variable one side and the numerical variables on the other side. Okay. Thus 5x minus 55 minus 5 equal to 55. So 5x equal to 55. While you are transposing minus 5 from LHS to RHS, its sign is reversed. So 55 plus 5. So 55 plus 5, your answer is 60. Thus 5x equal to 60. What is the operation between 5 and x? Multiplication. So 5 into x equal to 60. So in order to find the value of x, we are bringing this 5 from LHS to RHS. So its operation is reversed. That is division. So x equal to, divide the 60 by 5. 1 5 is 5, remainder is 1. 2 5s are 10. That is, divide the 60 by 5. 1 5 is 5, remainder is 1 0. 2 5s are 10. So 12. So 12 by 1. So it can be written as 12. Thus our answer is x equal to 12. See the question children. 8x minus 5 equal to 3x plus 55. We have found x equal to 12. Whenever you find free time, you check your answer. 8x minus 5. Substitute the 12 in this equation instead of x. 8 into 12 minus 5. You get one answer. Okay. Similarly, instead of this in the RHS, instead of x, you also substitute the value 12 instead of x. You get one answer. See children, definitely both the answers are same. You check here research time. Okay. See the last sum. 6x plus 9 equal to 3x plus 57 is also in the same order. Let us do children. First of all, what you have to do? You have to collect the variables in LHS and numbers in the numerical values in the RHS. So, first step, I am bringing this 3x to this side. So, 6x. What is the symbol of 3x here? Plus. So, while you are transposing a term from one side to another side, the symbol should be reversed. So, 3x became minus 3x plus 9 equal to 57. Do you understand children? Okay. Next you have to subtract this term. Both are like terms. So we can add and subtract the like terms. So 6 6x minus 3x. 6 apples minus 3 apples. What is the answer? 3 apples. Instead of apples, we are writing x. So 3x. Okay. We can also include the steps. You can see here. 6 minus 3 x plus 9 equal to 57. For your understanding purpose, I am including this step. Okay. You may also skip this step. So 6 minus 3 into x plus 9 equal to 57. 6 minus 3, what is the answer? 3x plus 9 equal to 57. In order to find the value of x, we have to send all the terms along with x. So first step, you have to send the term which are in addition and subtraction. So you have to send the 9 to that side. So 3x equal to 57 minus 9. So 57 minus 9, what is your answer? 3x equal to, how do you subtract? Suppose if your question like this, 57 minus 9 like this means, first you separate the 57 as 50 plus 7. And then you subtract the 9 from 50. What is your answer? 41. And then add the 7 with 41. What is your answer? 48. So your answer is 48. Now you have to find the value of x. So you have to bring the 3 to RHS. So it comes in the division. So 3. You have to divide the 48 by 3. 1 3 is 3. Remainder is 1. Bring down 8. 6 3 is 18. Plus 1 times 16 times. So x equal to 16 by 1. Leave the remainder if it is 1. So x equal to 16 by 1, which is equal to 16. Okay, do you understand, children? Next we are going to see a word problem. Example 11. The sum of 3 consecutive multiples of 3 is 54. Find them. What they are saying is sum means add. They are adding 3 numbers. What is the number they are? Consecutive multiples of 3. What is the multiples of 3? What are the multiples of 3? 3, 6, 9, 12. These are called multiples of 3. Consecutive means consecutive number. Suppose if I am writing like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means we can call the 2, 3, 4 as consecutive numbers. Okay, continuous number. Okay, they are adding 3 consecutive multiples of 3. They get the answer 54. What they are asking is find that numbers. They understand, children? They are adding 3 consecutive multiples of 3. Suppose it may be 6, 9 or 12. If they are adding these 3 numbers, they get the answer 54. They are asking what are the numbers. We are going to count them. Okay. First step, we are usually taking the unknown thing as variable x. Let the first number be x. Since it is a multiple of 3, what should be the second number? See here, multiples of 3 always differ by 3. Here we have 3. What is the next number? 6. How do you get 6? 3 plus 3, you get 6. Similarly, how do you get 9? 6 plus 3, you get 9. So, what should be the second number? And second number is, you add the 3 with the first number, you get the second number. So the second number is x plus 3. What should be the third number? If you add 3 with second number, you get the third number because the 3 numbers are multiples of 3. So third number is x plus 3. You have to add 3 with second number. Your second number is x plus 3. So add 3 with second number. So our third number is x plus 3 plus 3. Second number is x plus 3. First number is x. Do you understand, children? What is given in the question? Sum of the 3 consecutive multiple is 54. It means if you add the first number, second number and third number, your answer is 54. What is the first number? X. What is the second number? X plus 3. What is the third number? 3 plus 3, 6. So what is the third number? X plus 6. If you add these 3 numbers, you get the answer 54. What they are asking? What are the numbers? Okay, let us go into solve. So we can remove the symbol bracket first. So x plus 3 plus x equal to 54. Do you understand, children? Now we are going to add these x. What is the coefficient of x? 1. What is the coefficient of x? 1. So 1x plus 1x plus 1x. 1 apple plus 1 apple. So totally 3 apples. So instead of apples, we have to write x. So 3x plus 3 plus 6. 9 equal to 54. Do you understand, children, how we are getting this? First term is x, first number is x, second number is x plus 3, third number is x plus 3 plus 3. Suppose if they are multiples of 2 means first number is x, second number is x plus 2, third number is x plus 2 plus 2. Similarly, you have to change the values. So 3x plus 9 equal to 54. So in order to find the value of x, you have to take the 9 to that side. So 3x equal to 54 minus 9. So what is your answer? 54 minus 9? 45. So if you find the value of x, we have to bring the 3 to this side as a division. So 45 by 3. Now we are going to divide this. So 1 3 is 3. Remember 1, 5 3s are 15, thus x equal to 15. Thus we have found out the first number. What is the second number? Second number is x plus 3. You have to add 3 with 15. So 15 plus 3. So your second number is 18. First number is 15. What is your third number? X plus 6. So you have to add 6 with 15. So 15 plus 6. What is your number? 21. So what are the three consecutive numbers? The three consecutive numbers are 15, 18, 21. All the three numbers are consecutive multiples of 3. If you add these three numbers, definitely you get 54. Let us check whether we are getting the number 54. Let us check. 8 plus 1, 9, 9 plus 5, 14, remainder 1, 1 plus 1, 3 plus 5, 50, 3 plus 2, 54. Thus, we have found out the three numbers 15, 18, 24. Up to this, we are going to finish this chapter. Okay, do the sums in your homework correctly and write your classes neatly. Okay, thank you. My dear children, in today's activity, we are going to do the activity for the concept of divisibility test for 6. We have already know if a number is divisible by 6 means it must be divisible by both 2 and 3. If a number is divisible by 6 means it must be divisible by 2 and 3. Then only we can say the number is divisible by 6. Let us do one activity for this concept. Okay. For that, first we are taking one number 12. Now we are going to check whether this number is divisible by 2 and 3. Okay. First we are going to check the 12 is divisible by 2 or not. Okay. For that, you have to divide the 12 things into 2 equal parts. For that, we have to take 12 shapes. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Thus, we have taken 12 shapes. You have to divide these 12 shapes into 2 equal parts without any remainder. Then only we can say 12 is divisible by 2. Okay. Let us check. For that, you have to divide these 12 shapes into 2 equal parts. So first you have to take two shapes and give one to each set. Give one to each set. Similarly, you have to divide the 12 pieces. See, there is no remaining pieces. Next, we have to count how many shapes in each set. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thus, in each set, we have 6 shapes. Thus, we can say 12 divided by 2 equal to 6. From this, we can say the number 12 is divisible by 2. Okay. Next, we are going to check whether this 12 is divisible by 3 or not. For that, you have to again divide these 12 shapes into 3 equal parts. Okay, 1, 2, 3 equal parts we have to divide these 12 shapes. For that, first you have to take 3 shapes and give 1 to each set. Again you have to take 3 shapes and give 1 to each set. Similarly, you have to do. See, only 3 pieces remaining and giving 1 to each set. Thus, we have divided the
12 shapes into 3 sets. Let us count how many shapes in each set. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thus we can write 12 divided by 3 means the quotient is 4. Okay. Thus we can say the 12 is divisible by both 2 and 3. Now we can say 12 is divisible by 6. Let us check whether the 12 is divisible by 6 or not. For that we have to divide these 12 shapes into 6 equal parts. Okay, and also we have no remaining shapes. Then only we have to say the 12 is divisible by 6. Let us check. For that we have to divide these 12 shapes into 6 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we are going to divide these shapes into 6 equal parts. So first step you have to take 6 shapes. So give 1 to each set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again you have to take 6 shapes and give 1 to each shape, each set. See, I have 6 shapes. So give 1 to each set. See, there is no remaining shapes. So we can say 12 is divisible by 6. Let us write the quotient by counting the number of pieces in each set. See how many sets here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thus we have divided the 12 into 6 equal set, and each set it has 2 pieces. So the quotient is 2. Thus, if a number is divisible by 2 and 3, we can say it is divisible by 6. Let us see one more example. Now I am taking the number 10. Now we are going to check whether this number is divisible by 6 or not. For that you have to check the number 10 is divisible by 2 or not, 2 and 3 or not. First we are checking the 10 is divisible by 2. Next you have to check the 10 is divisible by 3 or not. Okay. For 10 divisible by 2, you have to divide the 10 by 2 equal parts. For that you have to take 10 shapes. Let us take 10 shapes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10 shapes. You have to divide these 10 shapes into 2 equal parts. Similarly, by seeing these shapes, we can easily divide into 2 equal parts. Equal parts means it has same number of shapes. See here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here also we have 5. Thus we have divided the 10 into 2 equal parts. Thus 10 divided by 2 equal to the quotient is 5 and we have no remainder. Next we are going to check whether the 10 is divisible by 3 or not. For that you have to divide these 10 shapes into 3 equal parts. Okay. For that first you have to take 3 shapes and give 1 to each set. 1, 2, 3. Again you have to take 3 shapes and give 1 to each set. 1, 2, 3. Again you have to take 3 shapes and give 1 to each set. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next see here children, we have 1 remaining pieces. Let us count how many shapes in each set. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Each set contains 3 shapes. That is, they have 3 equal shapes. But we have 1 remaining piece. So we can say that 10 is not divisible by 3. So 10 is divisible by 2, but 10 is not divisible by 3. So we can say 10 is not divisible by 6. I hope you understand. If a number is divisible by both 2 and 3 means we can say it is divisible by 6. Suppose if a number is failed in any one of the case means we can say it is not divisible by 6. I hope you have understand the concept of divisibility of 6. Okay, thank you.